Welcome to SDH's World Soccer Review as we go through everything that is happening in the tournament to determine the world's best. We will get you into the knockout matches, 2 of them for your Saturday, one at 10 o'clock involving the United States, one at 2 o'clock involving Argentina and Australia. But let's get you into the results and the standings from your Friday before we get you into your Saturday and we hear from Tyler Adams and his interview with Jenny Taft. 2 matches at 10 o'clock Eastern, 2 matches at 2 at 10, 2 at 2. Going into the matches across the board, it was Portugal and South Korea, Ghana and Uruguay. Those were your 10 o'clock matches. Portugal wasting no time out of the blocks in the 6th minute against South Korea. It was Horta putting Portugal on the board once again, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo Sports.
Hoy 131.
Atención con esta, puede ser, aquí ya va a llegar el primero, el remate, gol. ¡Gol! Lo hizo Ricardo Horta, la jugada por la derecha, el pase y la gran definición del joven. Así marca su segundo gol con la camiseta de Portugal. Horta lo hizo, gana Portugal 1-0 en el arranque del partido.
Claro, y Pepe lo ve en profundidad, tiene un balonazo muy bueno el desborde de Dalot y Horta claramente en el ángulo opuesto a lo que estaba cubriendo el arquero. El control es bueno, este cambio de velocidad mucho mejor, no llega a tomarlo. Centro atrás, centro de la muerte. Golazo de Portugal en su primera llegada a portería.
At the same time, it is Ghana and Uruguay, and early on, it was a chance for redemption for the Ghanaians. Andre Ayew steps to the spot. Sergio Rocher was the only person between him and putting the ball in the back of the net for the Ghanaians.
Orden del árbitro. A ver si hace la gran guián de hace 12 años. Aquí viene Andre Ayew. La orden de Cyber. Toma carrera. Aquí viene el capitán. Remata. Roche lo atajó, señoras y señores.
¡Vamos!
Justicia divina,
¡vamos!
que le llaman. Erró el penal. Andre Ayew.
So another Ghanaian penalty does not go in the back of the net against Uruguay. So it was scoreless at that moment. But then you get to the 26th. D'Arrascaeta puts the Uruguayans on the board.
Está en el área Lucho, la pide Lucho. Aquí está, le queda Lucho. La define, y está el primero, y está. Jorgen de Arrascaeta. Lucho la tuvo, amagó, remató y Jorgen de Arrascaeta le puso así la testa, la frente y la cabeza con todos los uruguayos en la espalda para marcar el primero. Está ganando Uruguay.
Then 1 minute later in the other match, South Korea equalizes to tie things up at 1, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo Sports.
Con este centro, aquí está, gol. Lo hizo el central, la pelota le quedó servidita en bandeja de plata. Kim Jong-won marca su séptimo gol con la camiseta coreana. Por arriba lo buscó, por abajo lo encontró casi abajo del arco. Han empatado ahora los coreanos y veremos qué partido se nos viene. Ahí está el gol.
Sí, la pelota que le pega a Cristiano, a ver a quién le pega, a Cristiano le pega en su espalda, le queda justamente botando lo que quiere cualquier jugador, la posibilidad de solamente tocar el balón y definir. Dijimos que
5 minutes later in the other match, it's a brace for Arrascaeta. 32nd minute, 2-0 to Uruguay.
Descarga de 3 dedos, la tiene Lucho. Levanta para Georgian, le pega. ¡Golazo! Lo hizo otra vez Georgian de Arrascaeta. Una magnífica, una supremamente estupenda definición. La levanta Lucho y le empala espectacularmente a los 32 minutos. Está ganando la Celeste.
And that would be how the matches would end up. South Korea, after equalizing at 1, they would get a goal to take full points against Portugal to plus 326. Going into the match, Portugal was a minus 118. Your draw was a plus 284. Uruguay would get the 2-0 win, and they would do so at a minus 127. Ghana was a plus 350, and your draw was a plus 282. Now, the 2 o'clock starts. Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, and Brazil. And in a game that had a lot of back and forth, let's start things off with Serbia and Switzerland. Alexander Mitrovic from Fulham in the 26th minute would tie things up at 1, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo Sports.
La hizo bien de primera, pero después se quedó y no había falta en la jugada. Y ahora viene a la contra Serbia. Le van a dar a Mitrovic. Que mete el testarazo, le quedó a modo una lindísima pelota, acomodada como si se lo hubieran puesto con la mano, mueve el cuello, cambia la dirección, el arquero no puede hacer nada y ya está la cosa empatada 1-1.
Ha sido un remate súper elegante, lo ha hecho tan fácil y fluido, el balón, como dices Jorge, venía, vamos.
Then, a couple of goals down the line in the 48th minute, 22 minutes later, instead of having 2 goals on the board in total, you had 5. Vargas and Freuler combining for Switzerland.
Shaqiri la tiene. Mete un pase tocadito. La combinación es bellísima. ¡Golazo! ¡Gol! Que se encuentra un bombón de pelota, un pase que inicia con Shaqiri, que se combinan en el área y simplemente se la dejan para empujarla y darle la ventaja momentánea a Suiza 3-2.
Si el segundo gol de Suiza había sido...
And there wouldn't be any goals after the 48th minute in that particular match, and it would end up 3-2. Switzerland at a plus 185 gets the win. Serbia was a plus 158. Your draw was a plus 236. Then we had a moment, 90 plus 2 in the Cameroon-Brazil match. Cameroon and Abubakar combined for a goal for Cameroon to take the lead at 90 plus 2 at 1-0 at a plus 793.
A ver aquí con Mbekeli. Tiró el centro. ¡Gol! De Camerún Su capitán Abubakar lo hizo sobre el final en tiempo de descuento. Camerún le está ganando a Brasil.
Ahora, qué pedazo de gol, qué jugada, qué velocidad por ese costado derecho. El centro es inmejorable. Con toda la velocidad y el efecto para que metiera ese cabezazo. Ahora sí le dijo, mire, cállese para que vea cómo vamos al frente. Ahí está el primer gol.
Intentó poco, pero cuando intentó...
Increíble lo que hizo, increíble. Se quita la playera y deja a su selección con un hombre menos. Estas son las cosas que no se puede creer y se va feliz.
Muy bien. Yo pensé que ya lo había amonestado, había puesto la amarilla.
And what you also heard in that exchange, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo Sports, was since Abubakar picked up his second yellow, that meant a red card, and Ismail Elfath probably delivered the coolest looking red card that you could ever do. Elfath knew the context, but he knew he had to do it. So it was a red card for Cameroon, but Cameroon would win. Brazil went in at a minus 278. So that would be your matches at 10 and 2. Let's get you into your standings in groups G and H that would finish up group play. Brazil would end up at 6 points, and they would win the group by only 1 goal. Brazil, goal difference at 2. Switzerland, goal difference at 1. Cameroon did not qualify, and they finished up with 4 points with the win. Serbia had 1 draw in their 3 matches. They would finish with 1 point. So Brazil and Switzerland move on. Group H, Portugal would finish up with 6 points. They would get the Group H top spot. South Korea would go in by goals scored, 4-2 for Uruguay. And Uruguay and Ghana both would not move on. The Ghanaians would finish up with 5 goals scored, 7 allowed, and 3 points in total. So that would set up Brazil and South Korea, Portugal and Switzerland for their version of the knockouts. And so that gets us to the knockout stage. We have the round of 16, and the big match on your Saturday has to do at 10 o'clock Eastern time with the Netherlands and the USA. The Netherlands started out on the plus side. They are now at a dead even plus 100, courtesy of our friends in the composite at odds portal. The United States has gone to a plus 342. Your draw is a plus 224. Courtesy of our friends at Fox Soccer, Jenny Taft caught up with Tyler Adams to get his thoughts leading into the match.
I really appreciate you joining me. Just wrapped up last training before arguably the biggest match of your lives. What was the mood like, the vibe of the group ahead of this one?
I think for a young group, we have this confidence about us, a fearlessness about us that no matter who we're playing, we just still have the same energy, the same vibe, and that's a good feeling to have going into a big game.
When I say that you've covered more ground than any player at the World Cup, what's your reaction to that?
I'll do whatever for the team. I don't care. The guys next to me have also run. I know a lot, so they're probably not far off. But yeah, it adds up for sure, but ready to go tomorrow.
Argentina and Australia is your 2 o'clock. Argentina, big favorite, no real surprise. Argentina at a minus 455. Your draw's at a plus 565. And Australia is at a plus 1377. So those are your 2 matches on your Saturday. 2 matches to get you through the next 4 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. One at 10 o'clock, one at 2 o'clock. We'll go over all of them with you as we continue here on the World Soccer Review. That's it as we get you into the round of 16 for everybody here at SDH. I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the matches as we try to determine the world's best here in 2022.